All right. Here we are.
Guess so.
Back again. We were in Africa a couple episodes ago, but we still have a lot of African countries to go. But today we're going to the country of Guinea-Bissau. And I don't know. I keep wanting to say Guinea-Bissau, but it's Guinea-Bissau.
How's it spelled?
Bissau.
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 That's what it sounds like.
I feel like Bissau is one of those
looks
words
like
where
it would sound like.
Yeah.
tomato,
Sure.
Bissau. I don't know.
Bissau.
But
Bissau.
how do you guys feel about going back to Africa? I think last time we went to Sao Tome and Principe. I think that was a good one. I think we liked it. I don't know how we're gonna feel about this one though. It's a little sketchy, but I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe you guys will like this place.
I don't know a whole lot about Africa, so let's keep rolling. I mean, other than what we've learned from you, Jeff.
Yeah.
So,
And I feel like we could have a whole Africa Boys podcast or show if we wanted to, but
Sure.
there's so much about Africa. But
Right.
look, we're just scratching the surface, so we'll get into it. So Guinea-Bissau, it's in West Africa. It's pretty small country geographically. So the size, it's about 36,000 kilometers,
okay.
square kilometers, which is about 14,000 square miles. So about the size of Maryland or Switzerland.
Okay. Good size comparison for me to visualize. That.
Yeah. So decent size, population, 2 million. So pretty populated, honestly, for how
Yeah.
Nothing to scoff at.
how little it's developed. It's crazy. They got 2 million people here, but language, they speak Portuguese. They also speak a Portuguese Creole, and then there's a bunch of other kind of local languages that are spoken here. But
Portuguese, huh?
I think so. I want to say there's 8 or 9. I think they call them Lusophone countries, which is
I've heard
basically
that term,
Portuguese colonies or places that speak Portuguese.
It's cool. I've never heard that word before, so I
feel like
I got smarter.
We've actually, for all the 9, 10, whatever Lusophone countries, we've gone to quite a few of them. We went to Sao Tome and Principe, which is in Africa. We went to East Timor. I mean, I think we might be a third of the way through the Lusophone countries.
Wow. And how many of the stand countries have we done?
We've only done one stand.
Okay, so we
need to go back to the stands.
We got a lot of stands to get through.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Stands, we're coming for you.
I think there's 7 or 8 stands, so still got a lot of stands to go. But yeah, okay, we're making our way through the Portuguese colonies, and now we're in Guinea-Bissau. So why is it Guinea-Bissau? So there's multiple Guineas, or there's multiple places with the name Guinea in it, and we've been to Equatorial Guinea. Look, we're blazing through countries here. If you follow the show, you're like, oh yeah, episode 7. You guys went to Equatorial Guinea, right? Yeah, no, you're right.
That is right. That's right.
And
also, I think it's also time for the volcano to start making some new countries. You know, if it's time for the Earth to step up its game, because I don't want the country boys to get through all the countries.
I'm sure by the time we
that fast.
I guarantee you a country will pop up by the time we're doing the show. So, hey, there's still hope. Somewhere there will be a new jurisdiction, a new country. I mean, this place could even
Split into two.
we split into 2, or it could even merge with the country maybe. And I don't even know what we do then. I think we just, I don't know.
I did the 2 episodes together.
Yeah. So speaking about the Guinea countries, so there's 4 countries with the name Guinea in it. So we already said Equatorial Guinea, which is episode 7. Check it out. This is episode 28,
Wow.
Guinea-Bissau.
Holy shit.
So there's 2 other Guineas. Can you name them?
New Guinea
Okay.
and Old Guinea.
Papua New Guinea? Is that
Papua New Guinea. So that's
Hey.
New Guinea.
okay.
And then Guinea, which is right next to Guinea-Bissau, is the other Guinea. So there's 4 of them. And
But Papua New Guinea is an island super far away, right? It's not even close to these ones.
no. So Guinea and Guinea-Bissau are right next to each other. And the whole term, or not term Guinea, but the country or the region of Guinea was kind of a region in Africa that I think it was maybe the term was started by like Arabic traders, or I don't know, when the Arabs were there, and then I think it kind of stuck with the Europeans. So basically they just labeled this region of West Africa, Guinea.
Okay.
And so regular Guinea is the French Guinea. Guinea-Bissau is like the Portuguese Guinea. And then where we went to Equatorial Guinea, which isn't really even close to these two countries. It's in Africa, but pretty far away. Equatorial Guinea was like the Spanish Guinea. But there was an island that was owned by Equatorial Guinea. And so, I don't know, the main part of Equatorial Guinea is in a different place, but there's one island that's in this region of Guinea. So that's the three Guineas. Papua New Guinea's it's like next to Australia.
Right.
It's Papua New Guinea. Is that how you say it? Yeah. I don't know. I've been saying it wrong, man.
I have no
I think
idea.
it's Papua New Guinea.
Oh, okay.
Oh, do you
Papua
really
New Guinea?
Do you really think it's Papa?
I don't know.
So with Papua New Guinea
Papua. Sorry.
and oh man, I don't even know if we
That's
can see
what
it
I
on this
heard.
map, but so it's it's an island that's I think Papua, and then half of it is Papua New Guinea and the other half is part of Indonesia.
Okay. Right.
But the reason why that's called Papua New Guinea,
Oh yeah. I do
Yep,
remember that.
yeah.
Somewhere, one of these,
it's a big island. It's
one of these guys.
yeah. So the reason why they called it that is Spanish explorers, I think, who had already colonized Old Guinea, colonized there, and they were just like, oh, the people look just like they do in Old Guinea. We'll just call it New Guinea.
So kind of like Indians.
I mean, they're like Aboriginal, but I mean, these old Spanish explorers are dumb as hell. They don't know what they're doing.
That's what I
so.
mean. Like them calling.
Oh yeah, Indians.
Native
Yeah.
Americans Indians. Yeah.
I got you. Yeah, exactly.
Close enough.
Exactly.
They're brown. I'm white. You Indian.
Yeah, they look like the people from Guinea. So look, this must be the New Guinea.
Hey, we're here for your spices
Yeah,
Right. Exactly.
or beverages, depending on what's going
You're a
on.
new world. We just discovered you.
So yeah, exactly the Indian thing where someone's just like, "Well, whatever. But these explorers were not creative at all in their naming. Everything's just like, oh, old, new, like
Right.
this, like,
Right.
oh, you have Guinea. Well, this is French Guinea. Oh, that's Portuguese Guinea. It's like, come up with some original names like Country Boy Island or something.
Yeah.
It's like half the towns in the states here.
Yeah.
They're all the same.
New Haven, New York.
New Hampshire.
Like, oh, this looks like York. Well, this must be New York. Like, who named these? You guys can't come up with anything else?
Do you have any idea what Guinea means? Like, is that word particular or something?
Well, I know it's a.
Here it comes.
I mean, I know it's a derogatory term for Italians, based on the same
about
thing
that,
where it's
yeah,
like, oh, you're not white, you're
Right.
a Guinea, but it's not. It's like I don't even think it's like a derogatory. It's just slang term. But
think
yeah,
Guinea is a slang term for just some new region or something.
but yeah,
New region of people.
I think basically they just called this region in Africa Guinea.
Doesn't
And if you're confused, so are we. So, and
Maybe
it's
it was-
also a little point to, I don't know, so something to point out that's you would think would be the same, but it's not. So Guyana, because we went to Suriname and then there's like French Guiana, Guyana, and then Suriname, which was Dutch Guyana that they renamed. Hey, they actually renamed it to something that's outside the box.
But that's not Guinea though, right?
No.
Like, but it's similar. 'Cause
It's
I'm
similar, but
confused. It's fucking confusing. Let's be real. Like, it's
Oh,
a
yeah.
wrench because those three countries, those are the like tricky ones in South America.
It's similar, but apparently the naming or the etymology or something comes from something completely different.
Oh, I was gonna say they just fucked it up and they just named it
Yeah.
Guyana.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
read
yeah.
the name wrong.
No, I think Guyana
God, I was hoping.
comes from something else, but I'm sure in
Like,
their
he's gonna
minds,
drop this bomb. They just didn't know how to pronounce it, and they're all Guinea.
I wish. I mean, look, we could have had 20 countries named something Guinea, but luckily they stopped at 4, and here we are at the second smallest. So not only is it the second smallest Guinea, it's the 7th least visited place in the world.
Damn.
So nobody really goes here. It's pretty remote. All right. So physically, so it's super jungle, super flat, not really a whole lot else. There's
Okay.
a main river that goes through it. And then at the edge of the country, there's 88 islands. It's a chain of islands called Bijagos. Only 20 of them are inhabited. So it could be a place for Country Boy Island, possibly.
Yeah.
We need a permanent home.
So there's these 88 islands, and then there's the mainland area. But the islands aren't like, they're pretty close. It's all kind of at the basin of this river. So I guess it's the Jiba River.
Okay.
And that basically splits the country in half, which it's kind of like the Gambia, which the Gambia was just along the river, but I don't know. This river has a lot to do with the country because it greatly affects the infrastructure where you can't, there's not a whole lot of bridges. So you kind of have to drive all the way around this river to get from south of the country to north of the country. So it really does kind of split this country in half almost.
Right.
But yeah, it's very flat. Highest point is only 300 meters, 1,000 feet high. So basically just flat forest, some farmland in there. It's the third most forested country in Africa.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
And the other two were, I don't know, super small or remote. So pretty densely forested.
It's obviously on the equator. I mean, what kind of forest are we talking about? Is it like
Jungle.
hot as balls? Like, is this like Brazil?
Yeah,
jungle?
It's hot. It's humid.
Right.
I think they have 2 seasons where it's like, and I think all these tropical countries, it's like you have a wet season and a dry season.
Right.
So
Okay. Yeah, makes sense.
it's like that, and
Getting the
it's
picture.
actually so like the equator is more here. It's a little
Right.
but it's still hot,
tropics.
humid. Yeah,
Yeah.
very tropical, very jungly. It's super. I don't know. I guess it's has a lot of different animals and stuff. So
Fuck yeah.
you could see a wide variety of animals when you go there. Not like some African countries, but for how small it is, they got animals. But one of the main thing that they're known for, because of their geography and everything, is cashews. This is like the cashew capital.
Kashew Kingdom.
And 85% of the country are involved somehow in the cashew harvesting, the cashew trade.
Interesting. Okay.
And it's one of the top 5 producers of cashews in the world. So
I eat a lot of cashews.
when you go here, cashews are
I do.
everywhere. You eat a lot of cashews?
I do. Yeah.
Well,
that's why
probably
you're
eat them like
those
every
good oils.
every time I'm at the office. So like at least 2 or 3 times a week, I'm eating cashews. Yeah.
okay, well, that brings me to our breakaway thing.
I'm not ready
Favorite
for
nut.
I wasn't ready.
Is cashew your favorite? Where would you rank
I don't know, cashews are pretty good.
nuts as far as types of nuts? Is cashew the best? And actually, let's start with what's your least favorite nut? Is there a nut out there that you're like, I'm not going to eat
I don't like walnuts, dude.
walnuts?
Yeah. I mean, I'll like them in other things. Like, like walnuts is one of those things am I thinking of the right thing? Like, did you put in like banana bread and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that's sprinkled on stuff, but I don't want to eat a walnut straight up. Like if you have a walnut and a mix of nuts, I don't know.
You
Those don't- I
flick
don't
it out?
prefer it. No, I'll eat it, but I'll eat a lot of things. But
So would you say walnuts?
yeah, don't even. I know where that pause. No, but walnuts, I don't really care for the taste of them. Trying to think of what else.
Almonds, pistachios, cashew, or
No, love almonds, love pistachios.
we're talking about cashews, but where would you rank cashews in your top?
I think they're up there. I think cashews are fucking delicious. I think pistachios are definitely better.
Macadamia?
Almonds, macadamians are good.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know, 2 or 3, maybe 2 or 3 cashews, probably. Trying to think, I'm sure I'm missing some nuts that
I might have to go with almond, honestly, as my top nut.
Almonds are pretty good. I think pistachios are up there too, though.
Yeah. I don't know. I like pistachios, but I wouldn't put them as my favorite.
No.
I'd probably say almond or macadamia, maybe.
Yeah, macadamia's up there. I do like those guys.
What about you, Jason? Or do you have a nut allergy? Or I don't know, you're very silent.
No, I'm just
He doesn't like the nuts.
growing up. I loved peanut butter, and peanut butter desserts, but I only like smooth peanut, and like peanut butter and jelly. I only like smooth peanut butter. I hated. I was like pissed off when there was nuts in the desserts. Just like I was just upset. So my grandma would
You never like
me.
Snickers or
No, I never fuck with those. And like my mom liked pecan pie, and I never I just was upset about
pecans.
it.
We haven't.
Pistachio. Yeah, I didn't.
I didn't as a kid. Yeah, I gotta agree with
pistachio
you.
ice cream was just disgusting to me. But fast forward, I got like actually older and whatever, started trying things.
Now you love nuts?
Almonds are good. Cashews are pretty good. They're up. They're tasty. Peanuts, I know they're not really a nut, but we got to. How can you not include them?
You have to, yeah.
You gotta include
then,
it.
I mean, peanuts are definitely
You got to include peanuts.
That's like saying tomato is a fruit. You never eat tomato in a
fruit
with
sense.
fruit or
a
fruit salad.
Yeah,
No.
I'd be fucking upset if you gave me a fruit salad with tomatoes in it. Like, what the fuck is this?
And that's when someone's like, "Well, peanut's not a nut." It's like, shut up, dude. It's a nut. You know it is. Like, it tastes just. I mean.
But even like I had pad thai for lunch and like the peanuts on it are awesome. Like they do so I've really learned to like them a lot more. And also if we're going to rank, my ranking is like, can you make a beverage out of that nut? Like, okay, almond milk, good. Like, I don't know, like, is there cashew milk? I think so.
There is.
I've never tried
I don't
it.
think I've tried
I don't know.
it.
I can't rank it.
Is
Because
coconut technically a nut?
it is, yeah.
I mean,
it's like big nut. It's a tree with big nuts.
Never really thought
That's
about
it.
them
A
as
coconut
nuts.
tree
Yeah,
just it's
yeah.
like a big dick.
Never
with
really
big
thought about
nuts.
them as
Like, it's
nuts.
just
I
kind
always
of
thought that was kind of fruit-like or whatever the interior. I don't know.
maybe.
I don't think it's in the nut family. Like, I don't think we can talk
We're
about
gonna
it
get back to you on this. We're gonna
as a
Called a
nut.
coconut.
I know, and I'm with you on
So is
that.
peanut.
But I think
Lots of nuts.
I think now
This is all nuts.
And these nuts, you can't forget about those. Those are classic.
You got to get that in there eventually. He didn't see that coming.
I know he did. And also,
took me off guard.
There's also flying squirrel, which is like a variation of these nuts. But you guys can look into that later.
yeah, I'll Google that one. But no, I think coconut. Adding
It's
coconuts
nuts on the forehead. Okay.
I think adding coconuts to the nut argument is like putting a tomato in fruit salad.
Yeah. Hey, we can all be a little logical here at the Country Boys. That's just
asking.
goddamn ridiculous.
Just asking. If a peanut's not a nut and we're including that, then how come coconuts?
I don't know, man.
We're talking about
I know,
standard, like a mix.
dry fucking nuts.
Yeah, a mix.
In the nut mix. Are they in the nut mix? No, coconuts aren't in the nut mix, Matt.
God, this is gonna get chopped up by somebody that doesn't like the Country Boys. And it's gonna be all over the internet. This is how we go viral, boys.
We've been waiting for
It's not gonna be good.
to the top. We don't want to make it cringy though.
So I'm saying almond. If I had to pick a top nut,
Okay.
Cashews were up there.
I
I,
think-
mean, if pistachios, and then it would be peanuts.
I think you seem like your reaction is more
cashews.
cashew.
I do like the cashews.
I'm going peanut because of the peanut butter. You know, like if I don't really want to live a life of like almond butter.
I mean,
that's like, but I never had peanut milk, so there's that. I do like almond milk, so there's like a milk alternative.
Why do you need to have the milk?
Just less gassy, to be honest.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
No, that's completely fair.
I have no problem with the product. Just
There's more that could be said.
I mean,
I'm a regular cereal eater, so I understand. Regular milk, whole milk.
yeah, that's where it's at, man. Cereal tastes weird than anything else, but
no, but like when we were talking about not eating nuts as a kid, or your taste, your taste changes, and now, like I don't think there's a bad nut like in the mix. Or actually, now that I'm saying that, Brazil nuts are kind of a little too much.
Whoa,
You get the Brazil
that's
nut.
not very
you're like,
country boy of you to single out Brazil nut, but
yeah, no, I don't know. You know the ones. So like in the mixed nuts, there's the Brazil nut, and it's like 10 times bigger than.
I need to see what one.
Yeah, I couldn't
Brazil
tell
nut
you
looks like.
offhand.
I would.
So it's
I'm certain I've had it.
yeah. If you get the mix and you get one in there, you're kind of like, it throws off the ratio.
Putting all the nuts in your mouth.
When you're putting the nuts in your mouth, you don't want that big nut in there, dude.
not right away.
Not first. Got to start small.
I'm getting flashbacks to our Djibouti episode, and
it's sweet.
no, but what I was gonna say was,
Matt wasn't there for Djibouti, which was ironic.
oh yeah,
We said that.
yeah, there would have been way more puns and shit you could cut up, but no. So I thought for so long I was allergic to nuts because I never really ate them too much as, I don't know, like mixed nuts or like
Right.
a bag of like peanuts or something. Like I never really ate them too much. And it was at this lake and we were swimming in the lake and I ate a bunch of these peanuts and I had a reaction. And for years I just never ate nuts because I'm like, I think I'm allergic to nuts because of this reaction I had. But then I'm pretty sure it was just like the shitty lake water that I was swimming in that gave me the reaction.
Just Jeff doesn't know how to swim and he's swallowing lake water.
No, it was like not radioactive, but it was a lake where they cooled down some like nuclear power plant. It was just shitty.
You should probably get that looked at.
So you
man.
weren't choking on nuts, you were just choking on the
No,
lake
so
water.
I ate a bunch of nuts and I broke out in hives and I just thought, okay, I must be allergic to nuts, not eating them. And I went years without eating them. And then I ate one and I was completely fine. I ate all, like varieties and was completely fine.
What was that day like? Like, did you just eat one nut, wait a little bit, and like determine that you didn't have a reaction, and then just eat another nut?
No, I think I just went all in.
Nut and like
I think I was just
nuts.
like, look, I'm older now. I'm a teenager. I'm not a kid. So maybe I changed. And maybe that could be it too. But I don't know. I just remember feeling like an idiot because I'm like, I've gone years without just assuming, not even getting it tested. Just, oh yeah, I must be allergic. And
Did
I
your
wasn't.
parents think you were too?
Yeah. Well, so I was with like a family friend, like their family. And we were at like, they had a lake house. So I was with them. And so my parents were just like, oh yeah, you must be allergic to them. But like, they never got me tested or anything.
I don't think I would have believed my kid. I'm like, here, try these.
No, I mean,
Let's have another reaction going on.
Yeah, they should have. I think they were just like, okay, I guess.
There's probably some nasty bacteria in that lake.
Oh, yeah, for
and
sure.
That's what it was. And
Yeah.
something of
No,
that.
that's true.
No, it had to have been that, or I just grew out of the allergy. But either way,
That's true.
Or you started developing superpowers, but they were like pretty shitty.
Yeah.
Or
Or
breaking out in hives.
maybe the
is your
nuclear
superpower.
lake made me not allergic to nuts.
What other superpowers you got, Jeff?
Yeah.
But you lost 5 years of your life. But whatever.
Hey.
That was the back end.
It's a price to pay for eating
Being able to
nuts.
gobble nuts.
All right, so we're saying almond, cashew, and
Peanut. Just because but then
Okay.
second would be almond and then cashew, I guess. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine. But walnuts are disgusting. I do think like,
Oh, wow.
I do find them, I do
Do
want
you
to throw
like
them out.
walnuts?
Yeah.
But I like walnut
Like
trees.
you would eat a straight up walnut.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember you could find walnuts like there were some walnut trees in Florida, and so you could literally break open a nut
Sure.
and get the walnut that you could eat out of it. And I just never cared for it. It's
What was
just-
that
it
called in
bland.
I don't think they're
busting a
disgusting.
nut? Is that what you
Yeah,
you called that in Florida?
busting a nut.
Busting
Yeah.
a nut.
It's exactly what we're doing. You had to find something hard to bust it on.
Of course.
You guys are freaks.
Sometimes soft. Sometimes you want to bust it on something soft.
All right, so
Nut freaks.
It would get everywhere. You just
just to
Mom and
close
Dad are going to be home. Clean up the nuts.
So to close this up, you guys are both saying that walnuts are the bottom tier.
I love
think
them as
so.
trees. I think they're great fucking trees. I think walnut trees are awesome. As far as their offspring, the male offspring they produce,
I'm
awful.
assuming I'm missing or not thinking of nuts to put like completely bottom. Don't get me wrong. Again, I will eat
Brazil
walnuts.
nuts for me are going to be
But-
the bottom of the barrel. All right, so going into the history of this place.
Yeah, I'm interested in this. Portuguese.
So settled in 1450 by the Portuguese.
They were
Basically was a Portuguese colony for 500 years. So I'm sure there was a ton of stuff that happened. Didn't catch it. Don't know about it. Tell me about it. But in the 1950s, they started a revolution. I think they're in Cape Verde, which is another Lusophone country. I think they kind of wanted to break away. And then guess when they gained independence?
1975.
Sometime in the 1970s, like every single country that we've been to. Common theme here. So they gained independence. Since 1970, there's been a ton of military coups. So 1980, 2003, 2010, 2012. And then they had an assassination of President João Bernardo Vieira in 2009. And then they had a civil war from 98 to 99. And I think recently, maybe within the past year, there was another attempted coup.
Jesus.
So this place is super unstable. I feel like it's always,
Changing hands or
always changing hands, always kind like it's not, the political system isn't stable at all. And nobody really lasts more than a couple years once
what
they're
kind
in
of
power.
political system do they attend? I mean, is it like a authoritarian of some kind?
I don't know for sure, but I think it's kind of, I feel like a lot of these African countries have this kind of like makeshift government that's in there, but it's not like they're so spread out and I don't know. It's not like a centralized area. There's not a lot of cities, so everyone's kind of just doing their own thing, I guess.
Right.
Not stable. So it's a big drug trafficking hub for drugs that come to and from Latin America to Europe. A lot of people stop through here because I guess it's super corrupt. So you can go in there with a suitcase of cocaine and pay the guy $20 and be on your way. Has a super lack of education, so not a whole lot of school in here, not a whole lot of colleges here, and as a result, it's super high poverty. Basically, most people live off $2 a day or something.
Jeez,
and it's like I saw this 14th poorest in the world. So
it's pretty bad.
Pretty bad. It has one of and this is all like modern times, but has one of the lowest life expectancies at 58.
Yeah, that's sad.
And then pretty bad air pollution too, where I think it's heavily forested, but I think the concentrated areas where the cities are, But I think they measure the air pollution by like not the country's total air pollution, but the amount of deaths from air pollution. So.
I think too, a lot of times when the countries are poor, the transportation is like they're using like real shitty like things that aren't. So the exhaust isn't like it's treated, so the chemicals coming out are really nasty, right? So if you're breathing those in, it's extra
quality of food, like all kinds of stuff.
It's cars, but then
goes down.
You got people just burning tires for fires, and there's just no regulation on anything. But they're not doing the eco checks on the cars here or anything like that. But
that's where all the Jettas went from the recall.
Send them over there. All right, so getting into the cultural. So we said it's similar to the Gambia. And one of the things in our long lost missing Gambia episode that we talked about was they had this rite of passage that as a kid you go into the jungle, or a teenager. It's called Vaca Bruto, where they go into the forest for several months. Mm-hmm. So they do that here. So you got to go.
The same thing?
Well, I think this is like the Portuguese name. I forget what it was in the Gambia, but basically, they do the same thing where you got to go prove yourself in the jungle for a little while.
What'd you say it was called here?
Here it's Vaca Bruto, which I think is like
I thought it was something
strong cow or
close.
I don't know.
Strong bull.
Strong bull.
I just made that up.
You got to go strong bull your way through those forests
or fertile cow. You got to make a choice. How do you go through the forest?
So that's one of the things they do. The societies here, or the makeup of the country, it's a lot of different tribes. So there's Papel tribe, Mandika, Balanta, Fulani. And then in the Bijagos, which were those chain of islands, there's several societies, but it's one of the few in the world that have a matriarchal society. So one of these tribes is matriarchal, where basically the women run stuff.
Interesting.
And I don't know where the other ones are, but they said there's like 4 areas or countries maybe where this is a thing. So
matriarchal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like one, I don't know if it's one island, but one tribe in this island region that is, the women run the show.
Interesting.
Okay.
And another thing with the women here, and I guess it's pretty common in this whole area, but they carry crazy amounts of shit on their heads. And I'm sure you've seen it, but it's like
this is
balancing, like you see them carrying baskets and you're like, that looks super hard.
Right.
But then some of the times it's up to 70% of their own body weight.
This
so that's like
ignorant, but is that a Western African thing, or is it just all around? I know people carry things in their heads all over the world, but like, is there a part where that's more super common, or?
I don't know. Let's cut to our carrying on the head correspondent. Shane. No, I do think it's.
That's a helicopter.
I was like, what is? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not good at noises. I'm not the dude from Police Academy.
I always thought it was like, 20, 30 pounds or something, but 70% of your body weight's insane.
It is. It's like ants,
Yeah.
Like not quite.
And balancing it and then walking. I mean, just looking at some of the videos and stuff, it's like how effortlessly they can carry insane amounts of weight on your head.
That means they don't have to
And
make more
balance
than one trip from the car to the door when they get their groceries.
If they had a car.
Yeah. I couldn't walk 10 feet with something on my head.
No. But you're a soccer player. You couldn't carry a soccer ball?
I mean, I could head something.
Never balanced it on your forehead or whatever?
Yeah. Not.
Come on, Jeff. I thought you were
No,
talented.
this is like on the flat part of your head. Like,
Yeah, I know. That shit's amazing. I don't know how people do that stuff.
so
But is it also like, is your head flatter? Like mine is fucking got all kinds of weird bumps and shit.
Well, it has to be if you're carrying.
flatten out.
yeah. Does it flatten out because you started at a young age?
That's what I'm wondering.
You know?
Like we're getting real serious about this. I wonder if they start early enough that their head is still soft enough to develop
like,
a flat spot.
Got to start them young.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I imagine it would happen anyways.
I don't know.
right?
Maybe that's.
I watched a
I don't know.
video.
Your skull forms pretty early, doesn't it?
Yeah, but it's years
Malleable.
of carrying
Years
stuff.
of doing something.
you're right,
I mean,
you're right.
Yeah.
Because they do it so effortlessly, and they just like the video that I was watching when they were talking about this practice of carrying stuff on your head. The girl was like, I started really young, and I didn't put two and two together to say, well, yeah, that's probably why you can do it so well now because your head's like hold a level up to that. And it's just well, maybe there's something to
it. May
it.
not even really have to be a big spot. I mean, just so long as there is a flat something right there, then the rest is just balance.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
Or like the basket or whatever, like fits not so much in a flat spot, but like it sets nice. You know,
That's what I always thought is they had some sort of support to flatten it out. But
Sure.
I think they're just that good at it. But probably a combination of all three. I don't know.
Damn. I wish we had someone from that country here.
Yeah.
I wish Jeff had done more research.
Yeah.
And we would
We invited
Yeah.
some people from Guinea-Bissau.
Next time, when we go to Guinea,
God forbid I look these things up before I come to the show, but no.
when we get into Guinea, we'll solve the mystery of the head carrying.
I'm sure we'll never address it again.
Hey, well,
Well, it does tie into our hats thing, though, a little bit. You know, like our
is a basket of pineapples a hat?
and how fashionable is it?
I would still say yeah. As long as it's on your head, it's a hat.
Okay. I think if it protects you from the elements too, or like the sun,
I mean,
then it's a hat.
It can protect you from the sun or like lightning, like just have a
could attract
lightning rod up there. And,
Could attract lightning. It's the highest point. Other
Yeah, but-
humans are lower, and you've got the most stacks.
if you have like rubber under there, then you're attracting it, but you're not getting affected by it.
Okay, it's like your tires. It's like
Yeah.
hit me in a car, lightning in
It's
a
like
car.
getting
Big
in a-
deal.
yeah.
Big deal.
Food and drink.
Cut off at the nut.
They
is
had a
how it
lot
translates.
of different things, but nothing like really stood out. A lot of different types of stews. I'm sure a lot of it has cashew, but I don't know. Stews, fried cassava.
I hate stews, though.
You hate stews?
I'm not a big soup and stew fan. Yeah, anyways, continue.
So yeah, that wasn't too much else that I got into, but basically kind of your, I don't know, standard fare from this part of the world. But yeah, stews, cassava. I'm sure there's a lot more. I spent so much time researching this head balancing thing. I didn't get into too much of the food. Okay.
Yeah, you really didn't find out that much.
Hey, well, we talked about it for
Jeff
a while.
lets us
so-
down again.
You know what? I watched a video. I looked up a couple things on the head balancing. I was enamored by it for a while.
I think at some point you're gonna have to start assigning us subjects. These countries are gonna get bigger and bigger, and you'll be like, you have to look up this.
Oh yeah. Well, with these small countries, look, there's not a whole lot of information on them. I'm trying to look stuff up. There's these AI made videos that are
That's gotta be very confusing.
giving me misinformation.
What's true? What's not? A lot of misinformation out there.
So yeah, food and drink. Hey, you tell us about the food and drink, okay? We'll leave this country boy assignment to you.
It's like a Mad Lib, the Mad Lib of the Country Boy Islands.
All right, so activities, same kind of thing. Like this place isn't, and that's one of the things with this. I feel like the last couple of countries we went to were a little more touristed, a little more things to do. But even just looking stuff up here, not a whole lot to do. Not a lot of people go here. Like even the city, so Bissau, and I guess we didn't mention that the capital is Bissau, but that's the main city. Where like a quarter of the population live, and it doesn't even look like a city. It's very I don't know.
Just like a spread out.
It's just not very industrialized or there's just not a whole lot there. So not a whole lot of stuff. There's, I guess, these waterfalls of Bambadinka.
Sounds cool.
You can see these saltwater hippos in the Bijagos Islands.
All
Those are
right.
dangerous things.
Yeah. Bad motherfuckers.
Saltwater hippos?
Yeah. So it's one of the few places where you can see saltwater hippos.
I didn't know that was a thing.
And they might be less dangerous. I don't know. They have more
I think
space.
because they're more buoyant.
I think they're a little smaller too than like the
Bloated from the salt content?
I just bet they can float easier in salt water.
Maybe.
They're fat. So.
Kind of like the manatees of the hippo world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of
I think they're
West
more
Africa.
so they're probably nicer. So
You test that out.
Yeah.
I
Want
don't
a
know.
carrot, girl?
we can
You want some carrots
just
and some
toss them a
nuts?
couple cashews and
Yeah, like walnuts?
but really with this place,
We figured we'd feed them the walnuts you don't like, man.
Right, there you go.
And I don't like.
yeah, not a whole lot else, honestly, from my limited research, but it was hard to even find stuff. I feel like I'm getting flashbacks to the early Country Boy episodes when, there's just not a whole lot out there. And that's basically it. I don't know. So there's forests, there's jungle.
They have rivers like to floating, go tubing.
You can go tubing, but you might get eaten by one of these saltwater hippos or
Okay.
one of the other
Fair enough.
Jason's
crocodiles.
going to find out whether or not they're nice or not.
Yeah, I'll go float.
Yeah, I'm sure there's
I'll go float
crocodiles
the
here.
river.
But like we said in the beginning, it's incredibly poor, incredibly undeveloped. Just it hasn't really gotten. Look, this place hasn't gotten its fair shot yet. So
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
What's the dancing, like the nightlife and dancing like?
I don't think there's a lot. I don't think.
What?
I mean, I think they're so poor that basically, I don't think there's a big going out like clubs and I don't know.
so. Like 50 Cent wouldn't be as relevant to club. Wouldn't like
Yeah.
hit it. Like okay.
I mean,
I'll go for that.
you could probably go
I just want to
hang out to some street party or something or
Right.
one, and this is kind of, I guess, probably related to everything else, but one also weird stat. We had talked about Bhutan. I forget what episode that was, but Bhutan, we said that you can't smoke there and smoking was banned. This place is the second least amount of like cigarettes smoked.
Wow.
But I think it's probably, again, just goes back to them being super poor. They just probably can't afford it. But yeah, I don't know where that came up. I was like, that's a weird stat. Because the other place where it's the most, it's just completely banned.
But I mean, like you can get tobacco.
I just think it's just like not readily available.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But it seems like a lot of this place is just kind of cashews. And
Hippos.
yeah, if you're from there and you're there, you're probably involved in the cashew trade. Or you're the guy working at the airport that's looking the other way when someone's bringing in cocaine.
Chill life.
And other than that, I don't know. I'm sure there's a lot more, but in my limited research from what I could find, this is what kept coming up.
Okay. All right.
So what are we thinking with
I don't
this
know.
place?
We haven't convinced me as shit. This might be a hard no for me. Like I haven't, there's literally nothing like I want to go do from the
No, and
information
I've-
that you have provided to me. Jeff.
I was researching. Look, I was in the library. I was looking up encyclopedias. What is there to do in Guinea-Bissau? And nothing would come up. There'd be like, oh, there's this, I don't know. There's a couple maybe historical sites that are from something. There's like, oh, the old town of Bissau. But it's one of the few countries that doesn't have a UNESCO World Heritage Site. I think it's predominantly jungle. We said I think it was the third forested country in Africa. So I think it's pretty agricultural, rural,
I wonder if there's anything to
And
explore
natural.
in the
and
jungle.
yeah.
Yeah.
And again, it's pretty biodiverse as far as animals and stuff, but I don't think you're going to go on a safari here or see anything. It's kind of like if you're wandering through the jungle, you might see one of these hippos or something, but it's not a place you go for tourism, really.
Okay. I don't know. Feeling like a no for me.
Yeah. I mean, it's an obvious no for me as well.
I mean, what? What would I do there?
Yeah, I feel a similar thing where like I would rather go to the Gambia. If I'm gonna do something like this, the Gambia kind of offers me like the same thing with maybe better. I don't know. But like you said, maybe this whole region was one country at one point. So like, at that point, going to the whole thing, there'd probably be a bunch of stuff to see. But now that's been kind of chopped up and all these wars and everything else.
Yeah.
And I'm sure all the wars they've had have like stifled a lot of stuff that should have been built.
Oh, yeah.
And like fucked them over. So that's sad. And I think too, when we judge countries, obviously we're not being like taken into account, but it does suck that like, countries that had a shitload of civil wars and like, it's tough to like really get anything like badass that like people like love and can celebrate when the country's already kind of poor. So
yeah. And I think a lot of this happens in Africa, civil wars or coups, and I think there's a whole history of Africa that we can't even comprehend just because there's so many different tribes. And we look at a country and we go, okay, that's these people are all the same. But even within all these different countries, there's different like there's different makeups at all. They're not like, okay, that's your border, but our border's this.
Right.
As a country goes, I think it's definitely. It's kind of like, I don't know, like Tuvalu or some of these countries we've been to where it's just, they don't promote tourism because it's fucked up and not a whole lot to
bring in people
do or because they haven't had any stability or stuff. So, but that's how we judge stuff here. So sorry, Guinea-Bissau, but you're the first hard no we've had in a while.
I'm sorry.
That's true. Yeah. I think it's the first no from me in a long time.
Actually, the first no for me in a long time.
Yeah, both of you guys. I think this is a record-setting show.
I might go look something up and just see whether or not there was actually something Jeff missed.
Same, too. Like, there's this awesome harem. That Matt didn't
Let me go research this country now for myself.
Yeah, good luck. But, all right. So, look, not every country can be a winner, and that's part of the show.
Just like life.
Yeah, you win some, you lose some. Guinea-Bissau's lost a lot. Hopefully they win some soon. Look, we're rooting for Guinea-Bissau. We want to go there, but as of the current
people should eat more cashews.
State,
Eat cashews, support Guinea-Bissau.
Put that into your tourism plan and say, look, we have cashew stew. Come over, come try it.
On every bag of cashews, there's like you're supporting Guinea-Bissau, stuff like that. White people would get
eat
into
that shit up. Maybe we should do some marketing for them.
Yeah,
maybe that's the problem.
Maybe this is the marketing for them.
I mean,
wave one.
It's
a free
it's
wave.
a start.
Jeff said there wasn't much out there
Country
for
boys take
Guinea-Bissau. We just
Bitcoin.
talked an hour about them.
That's true.
So this is the marketing for. Yeah, take that back. We're all going to Guinea-Bissau because we love Guinea-Bissau.
We love the
It's
shit out of that.
Go
place.
there.
Go there.
All right, so
this camera, that one.
So this is the first unanimous no we've had in a while.
I bet Justin would have been like.
Justin would have been a hard no. He would have been
Sean, champagne.
Show.
I think Shane, both, for sure.
You think with a unanimous 5?
Because I think when we did our best of episode, you guys were like at 98% yes, and I think the only other one was like Equatorial Guinea.
Yeah.
I think Justin was the highest no percentage.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Justin wouldn't leave his couch tonight. What are we talking about? Let alone
go to the Gambia. This Guinea-Bissau.
Just kidding, Justin. We love you.
We love you. So, keep watching those ads.
But I think too, another thing with this country, most people haven't even heard of it. I barely even heard of it.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just it never even comes up as any like.
No.
Next episode, where do we want to go?
What are our options, Jeff?
Let's go. Let's pick a continent.
I have no idea. Shit.
I don't know either.
We can go back to North America.
Ooh, I've got friends there.
I don't know, St. Vincent, maybe.
Be cool with that.
Yeah, we can knock another island out. Not knocking St. Vincent. But
hey, don't knock it till you try it.
You're right. I would go there, I think. So not knock it.
Or I don't know. We talked about the stands. We could go back to one of the stands.
Yeah, let's go to Asia.
Let's do a stand.
Let's do a stand.
Yeah.
So we already did Turkmenistan, but maybe Tajikistan.
Ooh, yeah. I don't know dick about Tajikistan.
All right. Well, that settles it then.
We know a lot about nuts, though.
More than a mouthful. You know what I'm saying?
Wait. All right. We'll see you in Tajikistan.
All right. We'll see you later.